In this session, we're going to make fabric napkin rings, so stay tuned. Hey Gifted Crafters, welcome back for another Saturday CrafterNoon. I hope everyone is doing well today. I am tuning in from sunny South Florida, and it's a pretty nice day today. So I hope you guys are enjoying the weather wherever you're from. I see we have people from all over the place. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. And if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host these weekly live sessions to talk about all things crafting. We talk about all things ranging from sewing, knitting, crocheting, decoupage. I mean, so much more. I just like all kinds of crafts, so we like to just span everything out and talk about all kinds of things. Now, if you have an Etsy shop or maybe you're doing an upcoming craft show, this may be the perfect channel to help you out. We like to throw out all kinds of tips, tricks, and ideas so that you guys can make a little money out there. So I hope you really enjoy what we have stored in for you today. So first off, let's say hello to some of our friends that I see out there. I see Amy Bullis. I see Boricua Sewing and Crafts. I see Crafting with Robin, Donna Phillips, Jackie Hallman, Jenny Owens, Judy Bauer, 1 Minute Tips, Rita Edge, Robin's Quilt Basket, and Sassy. And one of our subscribers today, as I'm reading through the chat, has a birthday. So happy birthday to Robin's Quilt Basket. It's her 60th birthday. That is awesome. I hope you have a really great day. I see that she is a little under the weather, so I hope you feel better and get to enjoy at least some part of your birthday. And thank you again for tuning in. I'm really excited to bring some little projects to you. And I like to kind of just, share all kinds of ideas. So I hope you guys really enjoy what I have in store for you today. Now, of course, I am a girl that loves her holidays. So got to keep you updated on the holidays. So we have today is National Barbie Day. So if you guys maybe watched the little Barbie movie that came out, or you like little Barbies, or you have little kids or grandkids that play with Barbies, today's National Barbie Day to just spend a little time with them with that. I think that'll be a little fun. It is also National Meatball Day. So maybe you can have that as a little side dish or have that little appetizer out there. So that's always a lot of fun to do today. Now, we also have coming up is in Lakeland, Florida next weekend is going to be the Sewing and Quilting Expo. I will be attending, and I'm just really excited to bring all kinds of information to you guys. I'm going to try to go out and see what they have in store, what are the new things, tips, tricks, things that I see out there, and I definitely will be bringing back some information to you guys and be able to show all of the things that I am able to see. So tune in for that. More information coming. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, go ahead and join it, because I like to kind of post things, and I just may be posting things as I see them going on at the show as well. So if you are in the area, let me know, send me an email, and maybe we can meet up and I can see a couple of you guys. I am always willing to do that because I think that's just a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys are ready for today. If you tuned in last week, we did a puff quilt, which was a lot of fun. So if you didn't see that live, that was live number 80, and you can catch that live as well. That was a lot of fun. It was a little project that you can do, a great project for scrap busters. So I think that you will really, really enjoy that. Alrighty. Oh, I see a couple of people having fun with the holidays. They would love a meatball sandwich. That's my sister Boricua Sewing and Crafts. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Oh, Amy says, I'll be heading out early for lunch with the in-laws. Uh-oh. Wow. And it's a lot of Central American food. Ooh, yum. That's a lot of yummy. Okay, I see we also have another birthday. Jackie's birthday as well. Happy birthday to Jackie. Wow, we are just tuning in with all the birthdays today, which is so much fun. I love to know when it's people's birthdays, so I'll kind of keep track of that. And, if I see you on the live next year again, we'll just shout out happy birthday to you again. So that's great. I hope you have a fantastic day, Jackie and Robin. So Alrighty, I think we are ready. Let me see if I had any other announcements to make, and I think that was all I had. So if you guys are ready for today, we're going to be making these fabric napkin rings, and it's something that is so quick, so easy. You can really whip these up in no time. And what's great about this, you know, it's like they may get dirty. You can throw them in the wash. You can do all kinds of things. I have it with a ribbon in the back. So it's a cute little display that you can have for maybe your upcoming for Easter, if you have your table decorated for Easter. But what's absolutely amazing about this is that you can do it for any season. I mean, these things, you can whip them up in no time. You know, they really don't cost a lot. It's a great scrap buster project, and it's so easy to make. So let's get to it, because I'm going to show you how to make these, and let me just show you here what supplies you're going to need. So the first thing that I use is you're going to obviously need some fabric, and you don't need a ton of fabric. In fact, I got this from my little, as you guys know, I have my little container with all of my scraps in here. So I just dug in here and I grabbed 2 pieces of scrap fabric. And you can pick any colors that you want. You can do one with a design on it if you'd like. You can keep it plain. Another great idea is that you can embroider on it and then make the napkin ring, so that the napkin ring will have maybe somebody's name on it, maybe a cute little saying. Maybe you just want to put a little heart, you know, little design on there. You know, ideas are endless. You can really up this thing, and you can sell it for a lot if you really make it really nice and classy. This, people will go crazy over it. And you can sell it as a set. You know, you can do 4-piece, 6-piece, 8-piece, you know, however you want to do it, and then just adjust your pricing. But it's a great project because it really doesn't cost a lot of money to make. It really can be made in no time, very quick and easy. And the perception value of it can be high. So depending, you know, if you really make them really nice, people will pay for them. So they are really great projects to make. So I think that you guys will really love it. Now I picked, like I said, I just went into my scrap little container here and I pulled out 2 little pieces of fabric. Now these fabrics right here, they are 2, 3, 4, they are 6 inches by 6 inches. I can make 2 napkin rings out of this. So that's how little fabric you need. And you're just going to have 2 pieces. So you'll need 2 pieces of that. And then what I did was I grabbed this 6-inch by 6-inch fabric and I just cut it in half. And that's all you're going to need for the fabric. So really great scrap buster, and doesn't cost a lot of money to make. So let's see what else you're going to need. The other thing you're going to need is some ribbon. Now, you guys know that I love my little Dollar Tree ribbons. I have a ton of them. And, you know, prices have been going up on the Dollar Tree. So, you know, you may just want to use what you have on hand. Try not to spend too much money on it. But if you do need some more ribbons, I think the most economical place would be if you go to the Dollar Tree. You don't get that much, but you get enough because you really don't need all that much for this project. So they have all kinds of cute little colors. These are some pinks and purples and kind of Easter-ish colors, but they have all kinds for all seasons. So they're constantly changing, and you can go ahead and get some there. You can also pick up ribbon at Hobby Lobby. They have some good deals every once in a while, so just check out for that. You can also go to your local Walmart, or even look at the thrift stores, you know, Goodwill, things like that. They sometimes have people that, you know, donate some of their craft supplies because maybe someone passed away, or, you know, they don't need them anymore. They're not doing the crafts anymore. And so you may go in there and get lucky. I've known people that have gone in there and they've like scored a jackpot, getting a sewing machine, getting fabric, getting all kinds of little notions. So don't rule that out, because those little stores, you can really find some fantastic deals. So these are the ribbons that I'm going to be using for this specific project. I'm just going to be using this pink one, but there's all kinds of different ones that you can use. Now you can also take some rickrack stuff and little things that's going to help you kind of upscale it and decorate it. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. You don't have to use these, but there's just ideas that you can use for getting this done. And a lot of these things I have gotten from the dollar store. So if you might recognize some of these are some trim packs. These are little carrots and little orangey. This is more like an Easter type of things. These are little chicks and little pom-poms with the rickrack here. I also have other ones with different colors. So we've got like the pink rickrack here. You can do so much with this. It would really elevate the napkins or napkin holders that you're doing. So this absolutely works great. They also have other ones with little bunnies on it. So if you can see here, let me see if I can get a little close up for you. You can see here, they're just little bunnies. Really super cute, but they really add a little extra flair to your project. So things like this is what you're kind of looking for, these little unique items that really will elevate your project. And then of course you have your typical pom-poms. I mean, who doesn't love the pom-poms? They're always cute. They always add a little flair to your project. So I think, you know, these are great opportunities to use some of the supplies that you may already have on hand. I see Donna Phillips says, I have bought tons of ribbons, lace, and craft items at thrift stores. Awesome. Yes. Those are one of the best places, and people tend to like not go to those places, and those are one of the best places you'll find the best deals. And you know, sometimes you don't find anything, and then sometimes you just hit the jackpot and you just find tons of stuff, including even the machines. So you always have to keep checking to see what's there. So I just say never count them out, because you can find stuff. There's always a bargain out there for someone, right? So just take a few minutes to check them out at your local store. Some of the other things that I am using, and this one I am using for this project, these are some things you can pick up at the Dollar Tree. These are some felt flower leaves. This is a leaves kit. It's a 6-piece. It gives you 2 flowers, the leaves, and a little kind of side leaf as well. I'll show you. This is what this one looks like. The one that I'm going to be using, that I used on this project, is a different color, but it's the same pack. And you can pick these up. Now, these are just flowers made out of felt. So another thing that you can do, if maybe you are looking to make a lot of these and you don't want to have to buy a ton of these little packs, because you only get 2 flowers per pack on these. What you can do is get yourself some felt. Just a roll of felt. This one is white felt, but you can get any color that you like. And you can use your Cricut. If you have a Cricut machine, you can use your Cricut to go ahead and cut the flower out and then roll it up yourself, just like you would any paper flower. You would just do the same thing, except that the material will be felt instead of paper. So that's one way to kind of save money, because you can get quite a number of flowers out of this one little roll that you can just pick up at any local place. Again, Dollar Tree, Walmart, you know, Joann's, they have these as well. You can find all kinds of felt rolls in there. So this is probably another economical way of kind of saving some money if you're going to be doing a lot of these napkins, right? Another item that I did find, and I've had this for a little bit, these are foam roses. So they're not made out of felt, these are made out of foam. So it's a little bit different texture, and I'll try to put them side by side so you can see them. Now, this one, the foam, you know, it's just, it still looks great. It's just not the fabric-y type look, but it really depends what look you're going for. You're doing something like for maybe Halloween, things like that. Maybe the foam roses will be a little better, and these are made out of foam. So kind of the same concept. You can cut and make these out. If you don't have a Cricut machine, you can get templates, flower templates that you can get off the internet, and then you can just trace them out onto this felt or the foam, and then you can cut them out with scissors yourself. So tons of ways to do this project. You have to kind of look at it at that perspective, think out of the box on how you can put these things together, because this is just such a quick project that, you know, it's a great money maker. It's a great stash buster, just to kind of get rid of some of those little pieces that you may have lying around in your craft room. And it's just a great project that everyone would love. It'll really dress up your table, whether it be Easter, Christmas, Halloween, I mean, whatever, Thanksgiving. You can make so many different ones. It's a great opportunity to use up that material that you have out there. Now, the other things that I'm using, and this kind of varies depending on what you're going to use to decorate your napkin ring. Now, I have this fabric fuse, and this is kind of a permanent bond that you could use. And that's if you're going to be bonding, you know, different things like the felt onto the fabric, you know, so anything that you're going to bond to the napkin ring, you may want to use fabric fuse. Another thing that you can use this double-sided fusible tape. This is called Stitch Esteem 2. It's another thing that you can use. They come in different sizes. This one is the 1/4 inch one, which is very narrow, so it makes it really easy to be able to kind of get to those tiny little places that you want things to kind of bond together. So different types of items that you can use what's best for you and your project, depending, you know, what you decide to pull together. But these are great products that work well, and I was able to use this, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. I think it's just a great way for me to just kind of set the table for Easter. It's really nice. It's pretty. It makes like a really nice little statement on my dining room table, and then I can kind of just change it up, slide these off, wash them, and I can do all kinds of different colors for different holidays, and it's really quick and easy to make. So these are the last things I need to show you, which is the actual napkin. So of course there's all kinds of different napkins that you can use. I do have these yellow ones here. I also have them in pink. These were in Hobby Lobby, and I actually got them last year when Easter was over, so I got them at an extreme discount. Regular price is $8.99, and it's 18 inches by 18 inches, and it's a set of 4. I would not pay $18.99 for napkins, but if you wait until after Easter, you know, you get the discounts. So it's always kind of good to keep your eye out when the discounts happen so that you can snag them and use them on the next year. So this is one of the ones that I was able to do, and I had my little container with all my Easter stuff in it, and these are one of the things that I was able to pull out, and I'm able to use this year, and I got it at a really great price. Now, of course, you can make your own napkins as well. That's something that's very easy to do as well, but it's really up to you. Now, I just like these because they do have mitered corners, and then they have like a little crochet on the edges that I thought just made it really pretty. So these are things that you can do yourself as well. So it really kind of depends what you want to do, how you want to do it. There's just so many different choices. So I'm just going to keep throwing some ideas out there, because there's just so many different ways you can go with this project. So let's get to it. Let's make a napkin ring, and I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is. Let me just clear this out here. I'm going to go ahead and grab my yellow napkin, and I'm going to move some of this over we're going to be using our sew cam as well. So let's drag this over. Okay. Let me just clear a little bit here. Definitely going to need some of that. And all this rickrack. I mean, there's just so many things that you can make with this stuff. It's really amazing how quick and easy you can make this stuff. Okay. Alrighty, I think I've got everything that I'm going to need around me. You will need your iron as well, so if you have a little mini iron or anything like that, just go ahead and bring it over because you'll need it. Not for too long. It's like I said, a really quick project, so you should be able to use that pretty quickly. Okay, so let's see. First things first, you want to go ahead and grab that fabric. Like I said, I had 2 pieces of fabric in my little container. This was measured at 6 inches by 6 inches. But what I'm going to do is just cut them in half because I only need it to be 3 inches by 6 inches. So you want to make sure that you just kind of cut that in half, or if you have one already cut up, that's perfect. Now, the size that I'm using is going to fit this 18 by 18 inch napkins. But napkins come in all different sizes, and you may want to customize your own. So don't get hung up on the size that I'm using. If your size is a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, I mean, it's all kind of depending on the size napkin that you're using. You really don't have to worry about it too much because this project is super forgiving. It's not a really hardcore project that you have to be extremely exact. So I think that you guys will really love that. So just go ahead and grab your pieces of fabric. Now let me get my iron going here. Okay. Oh, Donna Phillips says, if you use your serger, you can whip up a few napkins out of extra fabric. Definitely. Definitely, Donna. That's a great idea. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to kind of get this in a right position here so you guys can see what I am doing. Let's see if this works. Okay. Alrighty, so I've got my iron on and I'm using my little ironing board. However, I do have one thing that I do want to show you guys, but I'll wait until after the project and hopefully I'll have time and I'll be able to show it for you. Something that I received as a gift and I'm excited about it, so I'll show it to you guys in just a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and use my small little ironing board for now just because of space to kind of get this going. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and press my little 2 pieces of fabric. Make sure they are nice and pressed. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take my fabric, and again this is 3 inches by 6 inches, and then what I'm going to do is just fold this in half. I'm going to finger press this a little bit here, and then I'm going to bring my little ironing board because I'm just going to do a quick little press on that line. And on the other side as well. Let's go ahead and fold that over. Do this quick little press. Now, why am I pressing this in the middle? Well, the only reason why we're doing this is because we are going to want to make sure, because we're going to be using ribbon, we're going to want to make sure that our ribbon is nice and even on both ends. So what we're going to do now is just open it up. And if you have a little fabric marking pen, you can grab that. You can eyeball it as well. Either way, it's really all about you. So don't worry about getting all hung up about it being perfect. So if you want, you can go ahead and just mark just a little tiny dot on here. And you can do the same thing. Don't have to do this. Just making it a little bit more formal on how you would do this, right? So you have this nice and marked, and you have your center points here. So the next thing you want to do is you want to grab some of your ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out, have it pinned, and you're going to measure about 20 inches of your ribbon. Now, this again, it's not something that you have to have 20 inches of. You can do a smaller amount. I like to tie my napkin rings with a cute little bow, so that's why I'm doing 20 inches. But if you're just gonna do like a little knot, or maybe you don't want to have the ribbon as long, you totally can make it shorter. This is really just a matter of preference. And then what I'm going to do with my ribbon is I'm going to kind of put it in half here, measure it out, find my center, and then I'm just going to snip that right in half. Okay, so you'll end up with 2 strips, and they're going to be 10 inches long each. Okay? So you can put one of them to the side. You're just going to take that first one. And let me just grab this. I want to make sure I'm not skipping any steps. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and take my ribbon, and I am going to lay it down inside, putting it right on that middle mark that I just made. So I want to make sure my ribbon is nice and centered. And if you don't get it exactly centered, it's okay. Again, this is a pretty forgiving project. Now, what I'm going to do, just to kind of hold that in place, is I'm going to grab a couple of pins, and I'm just going to be pinning that in place. So right now I have it right in the center here. I'm going to just kind of hold it down with my finger, and I'm going to grab the other piece of fabric and put it right on top, and then pin all that together. So you're going to have like a little sandwich here. So my pin is just holding that ribbon right in the middle. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sewing all the way around in a U shape. So you're going to start off on one corner with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to go ahead and sew this all the way across. You're going to get right on top of that ribbon, bring that across, then pivot again, bring it all the way up to the front. And you're going to want to backstitch to the beginning and end, and then we're going to go over to the next step. So let me just look at my fabrics here. Try to line this up. Now again, your fabrics do not have to be cut perfectly, because it's really not going to matter. No one's going to see these raw edges. They're going to be turned inside out, so don't worry about that too much. Now, if you're using some directional fabric, just make sure that your fabric on the bottom is facing you. That's your top fabric, and then you're going to want your fabric facing down, because we're going to be flipping it inside out. So when you flip it inside out, you want to be able to see the fabric of your choice. I'm using fabric that is kind of the same color on both sides, so it really doesn't matter. But if you are using some fabric that has a little design or some directional, you just want to make sure that you're lining it up correctly. So now let's bring this over to our sewing machine. And we are going to go ahead and put our sew cam on. Hopefully it is angled at the right place. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay. I think we're good there. Now I'm going to line my machine up. I'm leaving it at about 3" of a width on my machine. You can do between 2.5, 3. It doesn't really need to be as strong. It's just you don't want your stitches to actually pop, but you don't want it to be too loose either. So depending on your machine, I'm going to go ahead and use a 3" length, but you could use 2.5, 3, whatever you're more comfortable with. So we're going to go ahead and backstitch. And let me just grab my sewing pedal. It's kind of running away from me here. Okay, I'm going to backstitch, and then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sew that going across. Now, when you get towards that end, as you start getting to the end of your fabric, you're going to want to slow it down and just kind of gauge. After a while, it starts to just kind of become second nature with you. I'm going to move my little needle out of the way, and then I'm going to leave my needle down. I'm going to raise my presser foot, and I'm going to go ahead and pivot and put my foot back down. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue to sew across. And may want to just kind of scoot that needle, make sure it's kind of out of the way, because you don't want your needle to be hitting the other needle and breaking a needle. So let's sew this way. Again, we can slow it down. Now, if let's say you think you went way too far, because when you turn it, you kind of, let's say, just imagine it was scooted, you can always backstitch it. I think we're good on this end, but again, raise your presser foot, go ahead and pivot, put your foot back down, and then we're going to sew all the way back up again. And as you get to the top, you're going to want to backstitch a couple. And then go ahead and raise that needle, lift up that presser foot, and you're good. So you're going to have a really nice little square going across. And then we're going to complement that on the other side as well. So go ahead and take my pin off. Don't need that anymore. And then I'm going to go ahead, grab my little ironing board. I'm going to give it a quick little press just to take off that middle crease that we had. So I'll go ahead and flip it as all over again. And go ahead and press this side as well. Now that I have this nice and pressed, I'm going to go ahead and grab my ribbon, which is going to help me turn it around, because what we've done is we've sewn this side all together, and we're going to want to flip it inside out. But before we do that, you want to grab your scissors, and the first thing you're going to want to do is to cut off just a tiny piece of the excess fabric that you have. So you can see here, I have some fabric, you know, that I could kind of cut off a little bit. And if you have a lot of fabric, because maybe you didn't really measure that well, you don't really have to for this project, so you might not just cut that off. I also have this excess ribbon sticking out here. I'm going to go ahead and cut. All we're doing is eliminating the bulk, so that when we turn it inside out, we'll have nice sharp edges. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. No one is going to see this. You can go ahead, cut the excess bulk. Be careful not to cut your stitches. You want to keep at least 1/8 of an inch of your stitches, if not a little more. That's fine. I'm just cutting away the excess. And when you get to your corners, you want to just snip those little corners. You want to leave that tiny little triangle. So this is what mine looks like. See, I've kind of trimmed it down a little bit. And so now you're just going to grab that ribbon, open that up, and this is why it's important to kind of backstitch, because we're going to be tugging a little bit here, and you don't want these stitches to pop. So let's go ahead and pull on that ribbon, and then turn your project inside out. And just pulling on the ribbon kind of helps a little bit. It's kind of a really small space. If you got those little fingers, that helps. Okay, and then once you have it turned around, you just want to pop those little corners. So if you have those little chopsticks, knitting needles, that little purple thing, whatever it is you use to get to those corners, go ahead and grab that and just poke at those corners. Just be careful not to poke too hard. You don't want to just pop a stitch there. And then just go ahead and pull that corner out so that it's nice and squared. You just get it as much as you can. Okay. Then once you've done that, you're almost complete. You've already gotten your ribbon on one side, and we just have to finish it off and add the ribbon to the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead, lay this down flat, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my iron and iron this nice and flat. You want to make sure it's nice and pretty. So I'll grab the ribbon on this side and then just kind of press this way. Helps to get the corners nice and square as well. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So you've already gotten this far. What you're going to want to do now is go to this other side where you've left it open. Go ahead and put your fingers on the inside, and you're going to just kind of push it down maybe about 1/4 of an inch. You could go 1/2 inch. I mean, it's really up to you. You're just pushing the edges and you're folding them inside. And you're just going to try to make sure that it stays in there. And just fold it. As you see right there. Now, what will help now is to take this back to the iron and just iron it with the fold. That'll help keep it in place. So I'm going to grab my iron again. Just go here. Grab my iron and just go ahead and fold that into place. So it stays nice and flat as I can. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. And once you have that folded in place, the raw edges are now inside, so you cannot see them. You're going to take that other ribbon that you had, and you're going to find where you had your mark on your fabric, line it up so that it's nice and centered. And then if you wanted to, you can pin it in place, or you can just go ahead and hold on to that and bring it over to your machine. Whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay. Once we have this back at the machine again, we're going to do our 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch all the way around on the machine. So let's go ahead and do a top stitch all the way around the fabric. Grab my little sewing paddle here. And here we go. Go ahead and pivot when you get towards the end. And pivot again. Make sure that ribbon stays out of the way. You don't want to have to accidentally sew that. There we go. And so when you get towards that end, go ahead and grab this. Grab your snips. Snip off those little edges. Get those little threads out of the way. And you have a nice, clean little napkin ring. Okay, now comes the fun part, because now you get to kind of decorate it. So at this point, you have your napkin ring and you can just go ahead and use it the way you have it. So if you have a nice little design, maybe you can embroider something on here. Somebody's name can go on here as well. That would be really cute. You could leave it like that. Now what I decided to do is go ahead and add a little bit flair to it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my felt kit here from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to grab the little rose. It also has the little leaf. And I'm not sure what that's called, the little leaf as well. Well, let's see here. I'm going to set my sewing machine over to the side again. Kind of get it out of the way, and I'm gonna grab my little napkin just to kind of show you what I would do. Now there's all kinds of different ways you can fold your napkin, and there's tons of things. I mean, you can do tons of courses just on that. But I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, nice and squared, and just kind of scrunch it in the middle. You have that here. You can go ahead and I'm gonna turn it this way. And I'm going to have this to be my back piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tie it. And you can do a bow. You can do so many things. Whatever is easy for you. I'm not like the best bow tire. So it's like, you know, some people are really nice, have luck at making really nice bows. But it's really up to you, you know, how you want to make it and stuff. So you've got a cute little bow in the back, and then in the front, you have your napkin ring. Now you can go ahead and decorate it. I'm going to go ahead and put the felt on here, but the felt flower, and then I'm also going to put the leaves behind it. And I just like that look to be able to do that. And I think it looks really cute. Really nice little Easter decor, or you can do all kinds of things. Like I said, it is totally up to you. If you want to change the napkin to face the other way, you can flip that as well. And just move this like that. You know, totally up to you on how you want to do it. Okay, let's see if I have... Oh, Donna has a tip. She says, when you will be turning under fabric... Wait, a tip when you will be turning under fabric is to run a seam on the fold line prior to turning, as if making a pocket. That's a great tip, Donna. Yes, you could do that as well. You can, before you turn the fabric, you run the seam on it before you turn it. And that's, you know, it's really, there's so many different ways to make it. It's really whatever you're more comfortable with. So it's just whole different ways on how to get here. You know, you pick what works for you. I'm just kind of putting some things out there, but you could definitely change this up and make this your own. That's great. Thanks, Donna. Oh, Donna says the only drawback to the machine embroidery is time consuming. It is. So simple glue and go projects would be good for the first time use. That's correct. And if you are going to sell these at maybe a craft fair or an Etsy. You have to keep that in mind, because that embroidery is now going to eat up more thread, more time. So you do have to kind of up your pricing in terms of how much you're going to sell it for, because now this is costing you more time to make. It's costing you more materials, because now you have embroidery thread that you need to kind of get and match up. And, you know, maybe somebody wants to customize it. They may want you to put their name on there. You know, all of that is something that you could kind of adjust your pricing scale for. So these are simple little projects, but can range in terms of pricing, you know, depending on how you make it. How you can make this super, super fancy or just simple and cute. You know, it really, it depends what you want to accomplish and how you want to sell it. So really neat project. Now, in order for me to go ahead and put these together, I can use my fabric fuse that will go ahead and fuse my felt to the fabric, and I can use that. The other thing that you can use is your stitch seam, and I lost it here. Where did it go? Here it went. The fabric was covering. You can also use this. Now, the problem with this is that you do need an iron. So you would just cut a tiny piece of this, and this is double-sided fusible, so you would put it underneath, and you would have to kind of open this up, grab the iron, and I guess I can show you quickly how it's done. So if you don't want to use the glue, let's try to use this one here. I'm going to go ahead and lay it flat, and you can just grab a tiny piece of this. There's so little that you use. You know, this is a tiny piece of flour, so you really don't need it a whole lot. And so you would just put this in place as to where you want it, and you would kind of center it. I'm kind of just eyeballing it for sake of time. And then you just kind of put this here. And this is where you are going to want to fuse it. Now there's a piece of paper that you have to take off here in order to do the other side. So don't forget to do that. So I've taken off the little piece of paper. Now it's sticky on both sides. So I'll go ahead and put it down. So it's sticking to the fabric. And then I'll go ahead and just put this the way I want it. Now, I wouldn't put my iron on this directly here because I don't want that tape to kind of fuse to my iron. So what I do is I just kind of put things together. I'm going to hold it in place and turn it around. And then just with my hand, just hit it with the iron from the back. And you do this nice and slowly and gently and carefully, please. Right? So you just want to kind of fuse that. The heat of the iron will then fuse it all together. And that'll kind of help hold it in place. Now, the other thing you can do, let me see if I can pull it apart a little bit. Well, it's kind of stuck there, but if, let's say, I've pulled it a little bit, let's say it didn't fuse as much as you wanted, you can also take this fabric fuse glue and put that in as well. Or if you need to add a little bit more tape, since I just pulled out some of it, you know, I can grab another little piece here and just do that. I mean, these pieces are really, really tiny. I mean, look how little I am using. You know, so you get like 2 big rolls of these, and I think I got these from Amazon. And super, super easy, and a roll of this will last you a really long time. So I'm just going to grab another little piece. And I'm just going to stick that in here. And I'm going to flip this over and just hit it with the iron. Just the heat of the iron will fuse it together. Okay. And there you go. You have a really cute little napkin ring. You can go ahead And grab your napkin. And then you can just tie it in the back. Just make your cute little bow. Open that up a little bit. And you can kind of play with the bow. And then you have this in the front. And you can make a really cute set, a set of 4, set of 6, and sell them together either with the napkin on it, without, you just do the rings, you know, you can put them on display, really cute. I have some other ones that I also kind of changed up. Now, I didn't use the ribbon, although I did like the way the ribbon came out better. I did try some of the rickrack just to see what it would look like when I tied it. I was able to tie it, just has a little bit of that rickrack here. And now all I have to do is add the flower to the other side. I use the little bunnies. I mean, you can just really go crazy with some of this stuff. I'm just using all of the different little rickrack items that you might have stored in your craft room. But this is the one that I chose to do. And, you know, I think these are just great little projects. You know, you can just set this up. It will be a really cute gift for someone as well. Really, really neat. So I think, you know, it's a cute little project. You can make some money off of this. And I think this is just a perfect little scrap buster project. So I hope you really enjoyed that. Now, I do have one thing I wanted to kind of show you guys really quickly. It's something that I kind of mentioned, and I know we're kind of running on time, so I'll just show it to you really quick. I have a little link on the description. I did get this as a gift from my sister. She mentioned that I was looking at getting this, and this is the Martelli roundabout. This is the base here on the bottom, and it's a great little kind of time saver for me. This comes with the base as well as with the cutting mat and the ironing board. And it's, you know, it rotates when you are trying to iron or you're trying to do some cutting. Great little gadget. It is a little pricey. It's really nice though because it is nice and wide. It's about, let's see, about 17-inch diameter, just about. So definitely, you know, nice little gift. And it's a great way to be able to do your ironing and cutting. It's basically really nice. So this is, again, the Martelli cutting board. I do have link on the description if you're interested. Little pricey, but it is a nice rotating board that you can have in your craft room, and it lets you do the cutting and ironing all in one place. You don't have to keep running around to an ironing station and a cutting station as well. So I just wanted to share that with you. I will be playing around with this today, I'm hoping, but very pleased with it, and it's a lot of fun. So I think it's just another gadget that you can have in your craft room, but I'll definitely be making some more of these because I want to get my complete set for Easter. And I think that, you know, this is just a nice little set that you can make for any occasion. So don't forget to put these together. Absolutely. Some people mentioning it would be for a baby shower. That would be another great idea that you can do these for. There's just so many things that you can make with this. You can really go crazy with these. So definitely a lot of fun. So that's all I had for my project, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Let me just check if there's any questions out there. Yes, please, if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Donna says the tape is super cheap on a big roll. Awesome. That's great because you really don't use that much of it. So it would really last a long time. You get a big roll, you probably get a great deal on it. Oh, Crafting with Robin says these will be cute for Mother's Day also. Yes, definitely. Great idea for many occasions. Yes, 1 minute tips. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Looks like you guys... Oh, a great video for folks that host Easter dinners. Yes, definitely. Definitely it is for Easter. I mean, you can just do so many different colors with these. I did have another pack, you know, that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and these are in pink. So I'm going to kind of mix and match them and maybe do the fabrics holders just a little different colors, just kind of mix and match on the table. I think that'll be looking really pretty. So okay. Alrighty, I think I got, if I didn't get to your question, I hope I did. I don't think I see any more out there, but if you have any questions on anything, please go ahead and you can email me, and I'll try to get back to you and help you out to make sure you get your projects done. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed today's little project. And if you guys, again, have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. Don't forget Facebook, Instagram. Post your projects because I'd love to see what you guys make. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye.